I also want to caution the members of the ANC, please no comments. We will now proceed. The President, Honourable Makula.
Honourable Deputy Speaker, South Africa remains steadfast in its commitment of resolving the Russia-Ukraine conflict. We continue to advocate for the inclusion of both parties in initiatives that are aimed at ending the hostilities. We have, as South Africa, consistently urged the parties to engage in negotiations in a spirit of cooperation and compromise. Our government has emphasized the importance of achieving an unconditional ceasefire accompanied by goodwill actions that would be seen as confidence-building measures to facilitate de-escalation.
House Chair.
Honourable President, my apologies. What is your point of order, member?
The first problem, Chair, here is that I raised my hand and then you said to me, I cannot interrupt whilst a member is being removed from the House. I then said to you, no problem, I'm going to wait. And you said you're going to come back to me. And you did not come back to me. And you went back to the President. And that's what you've been doing with other members as well, even on the virtual platform, where you note members, you don't go back to them, and then you say they're in contempt of you, of the House. Or
Honourable Lonzi, I did not recognize you just before
you
President. In fact, I replied to you and you were quite satisfied with the reply that I gave you. Honourable Lonzi,
House Chair.
We will now proceed.
House Chair, can you provide us with the list of these members that you are saying were in contempt? Because we have the strong view that your definition of contempt, based on this simple explanation I just gave you, is extremely flawed. And you are very impatient, Chair. I don't know why you are so impatient.
Honourable Lonzi, that is now not a point of order.
Can you please...
Honourable Lonzi, if you do know the rules and if you do know the powers and privileges procedure, you will know that a list of names will be attached.
Attached to where?
To the charge. So, Honourable Lonzi, that is not a point of order. It is dismissed and we will now proceed. Honourable
Order, Chair. You say they're going to be attached to a list of charges. Which charges? Because you still have to refer the matter to the powers and privileges.
It will be in that letter to the Speaker.
They are the ones who formulate charges. You are predetermining the process. Which charges are their names going to be attached to? The charges must be developed by the powers and privileges.
That is not a point of order for now.
When you say attached to the charges, you...
Honourable Member, you are now also absolutely disrespecting the presiding officer. There will be a list of names attached to the letter to the Speaker, which might lead to charges. Honourable Lakude.
So you should have phrased it.
Thank you very much, Honourable Deputy Speaker. I think we need to be protected as members of Parliament. There are members who pose questions to the President and they are waiting for him to respond. I want you, Honourable Speaker, to invoke Rule 69, which says, I'm reading the sub-rule now, members may not repeatedly undermining the authority of the presiding officer or repeatedly refusing to obey rulings of the presiding officer or repeatedly disrespecting and interrupting the presiding officer while the letter is addressing the House. With this sub-rule, Honourable Deputy Speaker, this is what we have been subjected to as members of Parliament by the two honourable members of the EFF. So we want to be protected. And what I want to put on the table right now is that now is 16:42. 5 o'clock, the President will not go over 5 o'clock to keep on responding to questions. We cut off. Question time is 3 hours. That's all, Honourable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Lakudi. That is what I said a bit earlier, that you are now infringing on the rights of other members who have submitted questions. And you are quite correct. As I've also said, this matter will be referred in terms of Rule 69 to the Speaker for referral to the Powers and Privileges Committee. Honourable President, please proceed.
As you wish, Honourable Deputy Speaker. As I was saying, we continue to call for an unconditional ceasefire, which will help to facilitate the de-escalation of the conflict that is taking place and initiate a genuine process of dialogue and negotiation amongst the parties. And South Africa calls on the parties to adhere to the principles of the United Nations Charter, including the peaceful resolution of conflicts and respect for the sovereignty and territorial integrity of states. We are deeply concerned about the impact of the Russia-Ukraine conflict across many parts of the world. We support initiatives that ensure that food and energy security for African countries is secured or implemented or embarked upon, as well as the safeguard global supply chains. South Africa will continue to actively participate in all initiatives, including the Africa Peace Initiative that took us to Ukraine and Russia, and also the joint group of Friends of Peace to support a negotiated and peaceful settlement of the conflict. Engagements with the presidents of Russia and Ukraine have occurred and continue to occur on several occasions, both in person as well as via telephone. In-person meetings with President Putin include the Africa Peace Initiative meeting, which took place in the 16th of June in 2023 in St. Petersburg, and a bilateral meeting on the margins of the BRICS summit in Kazan in Russia on the 22nd of October.
Just a quick one, Chair. It's for your
There isn't something like a quick one, Honourable Lonzi. I did not recognise you.
Chair.
What is your point of order?
No, it's in a very constructive manner. Can you keep quiet?
Honourable Lonzi.
Chair, the people on the virtual platform are muted, all of them. So can they be unmuted so that they can be able to participate in this session? I'm not disrupting.
See,
All of them are muted,
Honourable Lonzi,
including those who are not removed.
Honourable Member, if they are on the platform, they can still raise their hands. They don't have to switch on their microphones. Honourable Beasley.
Thanks, Deputy Speaker. The people deserve better than this Parliament, Speaker. There are so many people unemployed at the moment looking at this people and they're saying this is absolutely chaos. It's chaos. People deserve better. People deserve to hear from the President. He's got valid questions to ask. 500 people are losing their jobs every hour. It is unacceptable.
Thank you, Honourable Beasley. The point is taken. Honourable Member, I'm not going to take any further points.
Deputy Speaker, when he refers to these people, who is he talking about?
Honourable.
He said these people. Who are these people he's talking about?
Honourable Skosana, what is your point?
Yeah, Honourable Speaker, my point is that you have made a ruling several times on this matter. Can you please allow the President to respond and don't entertain any hand that will be raised, either in the House or in the visual platform? Clear that members are raising frivolous points of order just to interrupt the President.
Honourable Skosana, no, I know, and I've ruled on that. But there are members who show absolute contempt for the presiding officer, and that is why they will be referred to the Speaker for referral to the Powers and Privileges Committee. Honourable Paulson, is that if that is not a real point of order, I will also ask you to leave the chamber.
Speaker, with all due respect, Speaker, a point of clarity. The member said these people. I know what these people mean. I know I am racist, like to refer to black people as these people. So I want me to clarify what these people. What?
Honourable Paulson, Honourable Paulson, you speak through the Speaker, And I will have to consult the Hansard. So you're not going to go into a discussion or argument with a specific member. It is a point of order that is raised to the presiding officer, and I will then deal with it. Honourable President, please proceed. Honourable Kaula.
Yeah. Oh.
Honourable Kaula.
Oh, yeah.
Honourable member.
Funny now.
Honourable member. Order. Mr. President.
I funny now. Yes, my count.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I was referring to the various engagements we've had with the leaders of the two countries through face-to-face meetings, telephone conversations, and engaging.
Point of order, House Chair.
Honourable Lonzi, I am now cautioning you. You are now raising frivolous points of order, and I'm going to ask you to leave the chamber because you are interrupting proceedings. No, Please no, leave the Speaker. chamber, Honourable Lonzi. You are now interrupting business of this House. Please leave the chamber.
You don't know what I want to say.
I am now.
It's on a very separate matter from this one.
You are interrupting proceedings now. You are frivolous. Honourable Paulson, I will also rule that you leave the
It's on
chamber.
a separate matter.
Honourable Lonzi, I have now ruled.
What are you ruling on? Because you don't know what I have to
I have
say.
now ruled because I said no points of order. We allow the president to continue with his question.
You can't rule that there will never
Lonzi,
be point
please
of
leave the
order.
chamber.
Which rule are you referring to, Chair? Because I'm saying I'm raising a separate point.
Please assist the Honourable Lonzi.
I'm not repeating this point. I'm raising a separate point.
Sergeant at Arms, please remove.
I'm raising
the-
a separate point here, Chair.
I have ruled no points of order while the president is now
I'm
completing.
very
his
impatient today. I don't know why.
answer. Lonzi. Honourable Paulson, you should know the rules that you may not interrupt while a member is being removed from the chamber. I am now ruling that there will be no points of order. We have exactly 10 minutes left. You are now seriously disrupting procedures. Honourable Paulson, I have now ruled. Honourable Paulson, I have now ruled. Honourable President, please proceed with the answer.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I was saying that we've continued to have engagements with the leaders of the two countries, Russia and Ukraine. And I must say that the engagements have been meaningful, and we've had deep conversations about the whole process of peacemaking. And we remain hopeful that the conflict will be settled and that there will be an unconditional ceasefire and that peace will return to that part of the world. Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker. Thank you.
First supplementary question will be asked by the Honourable Modise Empire.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Mr. President, I nearly missed an opportunity to ask you this supplementary question. Recognizing the Republic's long-standing commitment to non-alignment and peaceful conflict resolution, and given the complex geopolitical dynamics surrounding the Russia and Ukraine conflict, could you share with the House how South Africa is positioning its diplomatic efforts to not only encourage dialogue between the two parties, but also to strengthen global trust in multilateralism, and what specific contributions or outcomes our nation hopes to advance through these engagements?
The Honourable President.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. South Africa continues to implement its diplomatic or foreign policy, which seeks to ensure that we lay more emphasis on multilateralism and to strengthen the multilateral system, where we seek to see various nations participating together and working together to advance peace around the world and to promote human rights. We have been very strong in insisting that
Deputy Speaker, ngenhlonipho, with your respect, please, my Deputy Speaker of Parliament.
I first have to recognize you,
Yeah.
Honourable Makaula.
Yes.
And what is your point of order?
Ngiyabonga, yes. Bengisho ukuthi akethu upresident ulale athi kuma kancane nje sasitshela ngezase Ukraine. Ngabe uthini ngalezi ngane zase Dalton ezu3 ezibulawe amabhunu egayisa ngemoto ethi
Honourable Makaula. Your point, Honourable Mkaula, I'm now cautioning you. I know you only have 5 minutes to wait before you go home, but I could make it a bit earlier. We will now proceed, Honourable President.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, I must
Okay. Deputy Speaker,
I feel
Deputy Speaker,
I feel abused.
Deputy Speaker.
I really do feel
Honourable members.
Can you please
You didn't feel like that when Trump was abusing you in the White House. Why did
Honourable
you feel
Matiase.
abused in the White House?
Oh.
You're abused by your own colleagues in South Africa.
I'm here to
You're
answer
abused in
questions.
the White House. You come to call abuse here. It's wrong what you're doing, President.
Honourable President.
You were abused with
apologies, but,
disinformation in the White House. You accuse us of
disrupt
abuse.
Proceedings this afternoon.
No,
Honourable
no.
Matiasi, you have just come in. Are you the enforcement? You have just arrived and now you have a point of order. What is your point of order?
Honorable Deputy Speaker. Deputy Speaker,
Please raise your point of order.
a point of order is you forced me off the virtual line and you compelled me to get into the house physically. That's the embarrassment you have brought to this house. There's a number of members who are allowed to be physically in the house. But because of your own decision to
Honourable member, that is not relevant to the
It's relevant
President's
to the discussions before.
answer right now. Honourable Matiase. Honourable Matiase. The question about who embarrasses who is an open question. We will now proceed. I will not recognize your point of order. It is not a point of order. It is a matter of discussion. And you can write to the Speaker about this. Orders have already been given. Rulings have been given. I will not entertain any further points of order from you, either from you, Honourable Paulson. We have exactly 4 minutes left. Honourable President. Honourable Makula, please leave the chamber. Honourable Makula, please leave the chamber. Sergeant at Arms, please assist the Honourable Makula to leave the chamber.
Deputy Speaker.
Honourable President, we have 3 minutes left. So it will at most then just be this answer of you, and then we will have to adjourn the House for the day. But I will refer this to the Speaker for further action. Honourable Makula, we will refer this for further action because these questions have asked and members have a right to hear the President replying to these
We
questions.
can give the president
EFF
now 1 hour.
You have now, in terms of the Powers and Privileges Act, as well as the rules, prevented members from doing their work. That is a serious legal infringement, which we will address. Honourable President, if you would like to conclude, that would be most appreciated. Thank you. Honourable Makula, please leave the House. Honourable Makula, leave the House.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. As I was saying, we continue to pursue our policy of strengthening the multilateral system and ensuring that through that multilateral system, we're able to resolve conflicts around the world peacefully and through negotiation and peace-seeking processes, where we work together with various bodies of the United Nations and regional bodies around the world, on our continent and elsewhere. And it is to this end that we, as a number of African countries, pursued the process of installing peace.
Honourable Makula, Sergeant at Arms, please assist Honourable Makula out. Honourable Makula, you are now in serious contempt. Honourable Makula. Honourable Makula, please leave the chamber. My apologies, Honourable President. Please proceed.
In pursuit of executing our policies, we interact with key role players, either involved in conflicts or in various regional bodies around the world. And it is this that continues to inform our foreign policy, where we seek to continuously work in accordance with the United Nations Charter, and indeed with the various charters of various continents in our world as we make interventions. So with that, Honourable Deputy Speaker, I'm able to confirm that South Africa pursues its peace-building processes on an ongoing basis and seeks to work with various regional bodies, particularly with the United Nations. And thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker.
Honourable members, in terms of Rule 144, the total time allowed for replies has expired. I want to thank the Honourable President for his patience in trying to answer important questions that members have put. I also want to apologise to the members who have posed questions and who have now been denied answers. The outstanding questions or replies will be published, and the Speaker will rule on what will happen next. I thank you, Honourable President.
History will note that this House descended in chaos because. Note that.
Honourable members,
Not
please
the
stand for the
from that-
presiding officer and the mace to leave the chamber. The House is now adjourned.